Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we're flying the Cirrus SR22 from Soldotna, Alaska, up north to Talkeetna. Should be a fairly short flight, saying 39 minutes. We're going at 16,000 feet, and the route is just about 115 miles. Climb aboard, let's go flying. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Loaded in on the ground in Soldotna. And it is blanketed in snow. It's a change of pace when there was just a light dusting of snow the last time we flew out of here, which was several days ago. We're loaded in on our parking space here. Let's go ahead and turn the battery switches on. Whoops. Alright, let's turn one battery switch on and turn it right back off. Alright, there we go. That's what we wanted to do. I just didn't move the mouse enough. Alright. Let's get these initialized. Just do a couple configuration setups while we're waiting for everything to load. Good. Right, it's 2 Celsius here on the ground. Pitot heat, we'll go ahead and just get that started. Let's get the engine going, strobe lights on. Let's cycle the mixture. Full rich, boost bump, throttle full forward, cut it back and bump it. And let's go ahead and engage the magnetos to both, and we'll go ahead and engage the ignition. Clear left, right, and ahead. Clear! Right. Engine is running, oil pressure is right at the top of the green, bottom of this yellow here. Oil temperature's rising, alternator switch is on, battery amperage is looking good, voltage is looking good. Clear that. Let's go ahead and turn the avionics on and the nav lights on. And let's get the weather real quick. .060 at 3, so it's very light wind. We can really take either runway. I think we'll taxi out to runway 7. 10 miles visibility, few clouds at 5,000. That looks like more than a few, but okay. Temperature's 2 above dew point, and 2920. Holy cow, 2925 on the altimeter. That's actually really low. And you get these low cyclones that come up through Alaska in the fall and winter, and I mean even in the spring and summer, but less so. But I've seen the barometric pressure drop into the 28s, into the low 28s. 2925 itself is pretty low. That's about 7/10 of an inch of mercury below standard. And that corresponds, that's a big difference. That corresponds to a difference of almost 700 feet of altitude between that and standard. Alright, let's go ahead and release the park and brake and taxi out. We'll go to runway 7. Which will be, oh, you gotta watch all these. What is my throttle doing? Oh boy! The forklift. Always fun taxiing out over here. And now we've got the conga line of... What? Look at all of these vehicles here, just clogging up the... trucks, buses, fuel trucks. And it is an absolute traffic jam over here. Oh, man. What? This is absolute mayhem. Oh gosh! Ah. Good luck getting anywhere over here. And a taxiway light in the middle. Just another day in Flight Sim, folks. And another taxiway, and another vehicle! What shall we ever do? Well, whatever. It's so good that vehicles do not render collisions in this in this sim. Building does, terrain does, trees do, but good thing vehicles and other movable objects do not. Alright, no whole position markings here. I have commented on that. This needs some updated scenery. Soldotna is such a good airport. And it just needs some updates, needs some buildings, some life. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake. We'll turn the landing light on. Oh no! I'm gonna unclick it trying to turn the landing light on. Good lord. Okay. What an adventure. In just the first couple minutes in. Flaps to half. Let's go ahead and do a run up real quick, looking for 1700 on the RPM. That's a tad bit high there. Just back off there. Quick mag check. Looks good. Back to both. Is good. Now to the left. And back to both. It's all looking good. Engine instruments are in the green. There's no warnings, errors, alerts, cautions. All looks good there. Idle power. Let's check our de-icing real quick. We're going to go into here, and we're carrying enough de-icing for 4.5 hours at normal use. It's way more than we should need. De-ice is on. That looks good. Turn on the pump, and it goes to high. Back to normal, and we can turn it off. Ice light, all good. Out of the cockpit, let's real quick just check the flight controls here. Flaps are confirmed half on both sides, rudder's good, elevator is good, and ailerons are good. Back into the cockpit. Alright, just checking everything. We have 110 knots set on our FLC. 16,000 for our cruising altitude. That all looks set up. Nav is on, VNav is on. That all looks good. We're ready to go. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake. Clear. Interesting little taxiway set up there, and it curves right back into the ramp of an intermediate. Actually, it looks like the wind is picking up a little bit, so this is definitely a good choice to go. Alright, airspeed is already alive. We are rolling out, lined up on center. Let's go ahead full power. And engine instruments are in the green. We're looking good. 77 knots will rotate. There we go. We're up. Got a positive rate of climb. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps up. You can barely see the name of the airport, Soldotna, written in on the pavement there. Alright. We get to 900 feet. We'll go ahead and begin a turn and engage the autopilot. And this is looking really pretty. Alright, there's 900 feet. Let's go ahead and begin the turn.
Engaging autopilot.
There we go. Landing light can come off. There's the airport. Alright, flight tracker's on. And we're turning to intercept. Let's go ahead and pull the mixture back just so our fuel is at the bottom of the green over here. Power dropped a little bit. Shouldn't have done that. Throttle's having more problems, okay. And we'll just need to keep an eye in case we're going to be going through any of these clouds up here to make sure our de-icing is turned on. Let's go ahead and pull up the map. Our route today, so here's Soldotna, here's Kenai, and we're on the Kenai Peninsula, of course. We're going to fly up over the Cook Inlet with anchorage just off to our right, and then we'll basically be flying over the, I believe this is the Talkeetna River, and right up along into Talkeetna just before we get to the Alaska Range Mountains. So Air Joe 8, how's it going? Hey, I'm doing pretty well. How are you? Welcome. So it is a pretty simple route, pretty straightforward. We'll get a good view of anchorage, provided that there's kind of enough clear sky to be able to see it. And when I checked the weather along the route, it looked like it was fairly clear over Anchorage and the surrounding area. And the weather in Talkeetna looked to be fairly good too before it started kind of getting cloudy up over the range into the interior. And south of Kenai and Soldotna, it started to look like it was clouding over pretty heavily as well. So we're kind of in a little bit of a gap where we have, I think, just enough decent sky conditions. Because when it's cold like this, we're not only contending with, when we deal with clouds, we're not only contending with reduced visibility, we're also contending with icing. Which is not really something you want to have to deal with. Looks like a nice flight. I love flying through Alaska. There's just so many airports to choose from, so that it makes it kind of hard. Yeah. Yeah. And I've flown all over the state. From the southeast up to Anchorage area, Kenai, Kodiak. Done one or two flights in the Aleutians, and then not really much out west, but a lot up north in the interior. Fairbanks to Fort Yukon to the Brooks Range and all of that. And really, this time of year, you're kind of limited into where, you know, the weather's good unless you're going in a jet. In that case, you're kind of limited to the length and quality of the runway. a lot of factors that go into it, but the vast majority of my flights in the simulator have been within Alaska, or well, a couple times I've gone into the Yukon Territory, which is fun in its own right. Dawson, Whitehorse, and Old Crow a couple times. Am I from Alaska in real life? No, I'm from South Carolina. I used to fly all over Alaska in the days of Flight Sim 10, way back when I played that, what, 15 years ago or so. It's just there's so much good scenery to be able to take advantage of, and it kind of has its own unique challenges and stuff like that, just because it is remote. Now, what about you? Got a quick look outside here. Yeah, there's a little bit of a break in the clouds up here, but I'm really hoping they improve the cloud generation in Flight Sim 2024. Crazy how far away it is. It's Seattle to Anchorage in the 737, and it was gonna be like 4 hours or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's... I mean, because not only are you going further west, but you also... 12, 13 degrees further north in latitude. Probably actually even more than that. And then you're also kind of going against the jet stream and stuff like that, unless you catch it at a good time.
Meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be
15,000 feet, so we've got another 1,000 to go before we reach cruise altitude.
We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give.
And it looks like it actually has mostly clouded over. Oh, that seems to be a little bit of a bummer, but there might be a couple breaks. Alright, leveled off, let's go ahead and pull the power back. Is this gonna smooth out and level off and... Yeah, there we go. Okay. And... right about 20
Together we can touch the stars. I know that we will see December.
Just past peak. Right there. There we go. Am I trying to do this totally VFR? No.
We'll be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and dark
But,
the summer's calling.
yeah, just depending on what these clouds are doing and stuff like that, we may actually have to climb above them or something. But that's gonna make it tricky. If I did go totally VFR, I'd expect it to be... It'd be doable, but we'd have to stay pretty low. Looks like most of the cloud ceilings along the way are between 7,000 and 9,000 feet. And it's 9,000 up at Talkeetna. But run the risk of pulling some icing by doing that. Let's go ahead, switch the fuel tank, turn the boost pump off, and we're set minus 25. Is this live weather? Yes, it is. I always do live weather with very, very few exceptions. As the times that I don't, or if I'm trying to experiment with some very specific weather settings or something like that. I mean, I could disable it and just fly with clear skies all the time. But that kind of takes away the challenge. And yeah, it looks like we're getting ready to go through them. Let's go ahead, turn the de-icing on. We're going to turn it to high, expecting to pick up a pretty substantial amount here, going through. Wow. Oh, well, actually, that was a lot, you know, thinner than it looked. Also just kind of get it set. We'll turn it back to normal. Man, I wish we could get some clouds down here in the lower 48. It's been so blue and dry lately. Yeah, so I'm from South Carolina, and we actually had a short rain shower that lasted about, I don't know, 5 minutes, and the sun was shining just minutes afterwards. And that was the first time we've had rain in about a month. I mean, October, I think we set a record for the driest month. And October and November tend to be the dry season for us, but it's abnormally like drought conditions. So, Beach Fast Club Aviation, welcome. What's the temp? Minus 26 Celsius, which is about minus 15 Fahrenheit. But, yeah, you need some good thermals for gliding, unless you have a mountain range nearby that you can just kind of catch the lift off the ridge and stuff like that. I've taken a few glider flights. I'm not rated for it. But gliders are fun. Some crazy high pressure over the whole country recently, except Seattle. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, and Alaska's getting like a bomb cyclone right now. It's a little more mild, and it's just the altimeter setting's really low, 29.25, which is unusually low. Wouldn't it be icing? Yes. Technically. But generally you are much more prone to get icing when you are flying in somewhat warmer temperatures. And when I say warmer, being like between 0 and -20. I mean, you can pick up icing all the way down to below -40. But with that said, when it's 0 to -20 Celsius, and in, let's say, cumuliform clouds, those are the optimal conditions to pick up icing. These are turning out to be a little thinner, and of course this flight simulator doesn't really do a good job of differentiating between cloud types. So, I mean, what we're going through seems to be pretty thin, and I do have the anti-icing on, or de-icing, and it seems to be doing a pretty sufficient job. I'm not even seeing any traces of it on the windshield. We could take a look at the wings. It's the sim. Yeah, if we go through, like, probably when we descend, if we have to go through the clouds, you'll see some icing get picked up then. We've gotten icing in that plane before in Microsoft and MSFS with no real clouds. That doesn't make... That doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me. Unless I'm misunderstanding you, but the thing about it is you usually have to be going through some sort of visible moisture to pick up icing. So if you're flying through a cloud, fog can cause icing, or if you're flying through precipitation, like freezing rain or snow, of course. But if I misunderstood you, let me know. Just a little confused the way I read that. Flew 5 times in a glider today. You can still get thermals on these blue days, just slightly more miserable. Yeah. That's harder to get lift. Yeah. Could be Cirrus clouds. They create icing. Yeah, they can, but you're less susceptible again to get icing because the Cirrus clouds are generally already made of ice crystals, so it's harder for them to adhere to surfaces like the wings and stuff. Real, it was broken clouds. I was just wondering, but love the stream, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, I like having discussions, you know, with people and stuff. Perhaps there's a day that I learn something from you all, and my goal is just to kind of share a little bit of a love of aviation. I've had my pilot's license for 15 years almost, and I almost never get to fly in the real world anymore, so this is kind of my way to enjoy it. And I always hope that somebody who comes and watches the stream learns something about flying or about aviation, and at the same time, I'm kind of hoping I get to either learn something new or get a refresher of stuff that I've just, you know, forgotten over however long. So I really appreciate having you all around. Alright, we're about halfway. This is the Talkeetna River, I believe. And if you grab a quick look back here, yeah, there's a break in the clouds. You can just see Anchorage here. That's where the international airport is, and Lake Hood. And once we get past this small batch of clouds here, let's take a look. We also may just be a little bit too far away for for the city to actually render. Now, look at the cloud textures too. That's something I really hope that gets improved in 2024. That's coming out in 2.5 weeks, and I'm looking pretty forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. A big improvement on this. And I mean, having flown Flight Sim 9 and Flight Sim 10 way back in the mid-late 2000s, this is a big improvement over those two. It's incredible how far Flight Sim has come. And I don't really talk much about X-Plane because I don't have experience with it really. But seeing the different versions of X-Plane, it's pretty remarkable what they've done with that. It's just all the improvements in technology are making these flight sims so much more realistic, and it's a good thing. Alright, yeah, we're a little bit past halfway now. And this is saying we've got about 15 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and grab the weather at Talkeetna, see what it's saying. And we'll figure out what we want to do for an approach. Alright, 0203, so the wind is out of the north, slight. 10 miles visibility, broken at 9,000. 4 Celsius, dew point is -3, and 2927 on the altimeter. So let's go ahead and adjust that. And I think we could probably go ahead and take a visual approach. So we will set visual runway 1. And we'll just set the straight approach and direct to that fix. And it's telling us start our descent, so we gotta crank that down. It might be a little too late. Yeah. A little bit. Alright, of course we hit direct, and it basically says our top of descent was right over it, so we didn't get started down in time. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we will set the FLC, and we'll go ahead and just pull the power back. And this will get us about that 1,200 feet per minute descent that we usually go for. Still no icing, we're not really going through any visible moisture at the moment. We may, kind of on our way down here. Well, I can't wait for 2024. Flew the alpha and it was already awesome. Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. Saw some real life planes in the sim. They got ADS-B data or something for the traffic. Yeah, wow. I know this here you have like a little bit of built-in like TCAS and stuff like that, but the ADS-B is going to be a pretty big improvement. Yeah, some of the planes that I've seen, this is going to be slightly controversial when I say this. I love the Vision Jet. There's a lot of people that don't like it. Be like, why would you get that when you can get any jet that's way more capable? Because it looks cool, and it's got the latest and greatest technology, which is fun to deal with. I mean, I love round dial planes, and then to have all that fancy tech, it's cool. But I think it's FlightFX partnered to get their plane included by default in Flight Sim 2024. And I don't remember all the other ones that are coming in off the top of my head, but if I pull the list back up, I'd remember. And I remember on the list they've got some really cool stuff, and then I think some planes that are in this version are being carried over, which is nice. We may actually be able to be dodging all the clouds on the way in. We lucked out not picking up any ice like that. I've seen some side-by-side comparison pictures too, and when you take a look at this versus Flight Sim 24 and real-world pictures, oh man, some of these places look... I remember seeing one of El Capitan in Yosemite Park, and it was insane how realistic the Flight Sim 24 screenshot looked to the real world. Leaps and bounds over this. Couple other good additions. I guess they're reworking the sky, astronomy, eclipses, the northern lights. That's going to be fantastic for flying up here, given how much you fly in Alaska and the Yukon Territory and stuff like that. So that I'm really looking forward to seeing that included in the sim. I love the Vision Jet too. Would I buy it in real life if I had the money? Heck no. I'd probably end up getting this plane. But it's super cool to fly and it's pretty sporty. Great mix between GA and jets. You need a type rating to fly it in real life, yeah. All jet aircraft, regardless of weight, size, stuff like that, need a type rating. The good news is you don't need a multi-engine rating. So you go get your airplane single-engine land and get a type rating, and you're good to go in the Vision Jet. And you may need like high altitude and high performance endorsements complex, but actually those might be covered with the type rating. I set that down to 4,000 for a moment. Let me just check the chart. I use sky vectors. Oh, that's another thing I heard, is that charts are going to be built into the simulator for 24. Yeah, 4,000 is safe altitude all the way down here. Alright, VNAV has taken over now, that's good. About 9 minutes away. I might do another flight after this. I don't know if I'll stream it. I might. The other option would be to just record one and upload it later. I don't do that frequently. I think I only have like 10 or 11 uploaded flights, as opposed to well over 100 recorded ones. Or live streamed ones. Oops. I watch a guy who owns one on YouTube. He goes to get his type rating renewed every year, and they have some sims he does at the facility, then takes an actual flight. I'm trying to remember the name. 'Cause I've watched a couple, and I'm trying to remember the name of the one that has the Vision Jet and flies it regularly. If you're familiar with Citation Max, of course, given the name, he flies mostly Citations, but I have seen a couple videos of his where he's actually in the Vision Jet. But what's the name of the one that you're talking about, Air Joe? Here's the link. I promise it's not one of those random scam links. Alright, let's take a look here. Pretty views were coming in, starting to kind of get the golden skies. The sun's getting ready to go down. We've got a little time to sunset here, since we're a bit further south. And the temperature's rising. It's only -7 now, and we're below all the clouds. So this actually looks like it's getting clearing up a little bit. His name is Bryce Angel. He's a super rich lawyer. Yeah, I don't recognize that name. That's not the one that I'm thinking of. But I'll have to check it out. I'm guessing the link didn't work, but didn't let you post it. I don't think I have that ability disabled.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world,
And if you just haven't posted it yet, then that's totally fine.
something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole
Looks like it's starting to get just a tiny bit bumpy as we're coming down. If we zoom in, yeah, here's the airport right there. And you kind of have to watch too, just because there's a lot of airports around Talkeetna. If you pull the chart up, you can see it on here, but you can see it on the map better. So here's actual Talkeetna's main airport, and that's a seaplane base, village strip. Is that on the water? No, it's dirt, right next to the river. It got removed, sent it again, but maybe it's a bot thing. Oh, yeah, see, because I never even saw it posted, so usually I would see a bot command that would remove it or disallow it, but yeah, I don't know. I have to look into that, but yeah, I'll look that up. I appreciate it. You've got Bald Mountain, Birch Creek Landing, Carl's Landing, ton of airports around the Talkeetna area. It can get confusing if you're not sure that you're going to the right one. So there's a 4,000. We can actually continue descending here. Just bring it all the way down there. Set it to 150. That way we can stay below the speed to set flaps. We just go ahead and activate vector, activate approach. That'll turn us on course. Once we get established on final, we'll go ahead and cut the autopilot. Sometimes it's only a thing channel mods can do. Yeah, it could be. And it also could be that there's just default settings that that disallow that or something like that. You have the channel owner actually has to go in and enable. I don't know. Yeah, but this is really pretty. Just look at all the trees, kind of have that nice golden color. All the snow. Oh yeah, the sun's got a little ways to go. But there's the runway. We're getting ready to turn, line up on final here for it. You know what, I'm gonna slow that down just a little bit, down to about 140. That's close enough. And we're slow enough we can go ahead and go half laps. VNAV should take over in a moment. Alright, gotta head off now, but I'll try and watch another stream. Happy flying. Hey, I really appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good one. Alright, here, returning final, the VNAV path is kicked on. Half flaps, let's go ahead and do some final configurations. Landing light on. Pitot heat stays on 2 Celsius, so we're above freezing, so no need to worry about any icing. Boost pump on, mixture full rich. And FLC is off, so we're controlling our speed and everything with the throttle. We need to get to 110 before we can go full flaps. But we're actually flying the descent rate, but it may level us off at 1185, which is the minimum there. Maybe not. Maybe is it going to keep us following the diamond? When I say the diamond, the purple. No, it's leveling us off. Alright, autopilot's disengaged. We're below 110. Full flaps. Let's add a little power. We want to keep a little bit of speed there. Getting a little high. And we're just flying it in nice at 90 knots. We're looking pretty good. Let's get slowed down a little more here. Stay on course. Let's not try to descend too low. Yeah, we're right on this glide path here. I don't remember there not being a VASI or PAPI for here. A little slow. That's alright. We usually want to stay about 80 knots. We're just 76. It's not too bad. We're clear over the trees. Narrow runway though. So we're going to take the power out. And floating a little bit. Nice and easy. Minus 58. Not bad. Let's hit the brakes. Flaps are going up. And we actually are going to make this turn right here. Not bad. Not a bad landing at all. I'm happy with that. Alright. Clear the runway. Turn the boost pump off. Flaps are confirmed. Up. Landing light can... Whoops. Landing light can come off. Pitot heat can come off. And... let's go ahead and taxi in. Be a left turn here. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Get the sunset coming right now. It's telling us turn the pitot heat on, but we're... we're not going out, so... Just the sun coming down right over the trees where all the planes are parked. That's pretty. Alright. Now let's taxi over. Beware the trucks and the forklifts. Oh, those were just crazy on the ground at Soldotna. When we went over there. Here's where you can see the airport name, Talkeetna, kind of just etched into the pavement a little bit. It's just kind of neat. I think that looks pretty neat. I think they're going to be parking us up here. Maybe? Oh, that's pretty out there. Can't tell if he's getting in position to park us or if he's just walking around just for fun. Now, let's just turn in this way. No, he's just walking. Oh, man. Bro's just walking around enjoying that nice sunny Alaska sunset. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Sunny sunset. Ah, man. Gotta love the behavior of non-player vehicles, objects, people. In flight sim. Alright, park and brake is set. I forgot to turn the landing light off or just clicked it on by mistake or something. I thought it turned it off. Alright, boost pump is off. Let's turn the avionics off. And nav lights off. We'll go ahead and make sure to idle cut off. There we go. 40 minutes and 50 seconds. And I think we said 38, 39 minutes. It was right about as expected. Alright, engine is stopped. Clear those indicators. Strobe lights can come off. Alternators. Magnetos to off. And the two battery switches. Alright, and look at that. Making it into Talkeetna in pretty good time. The sun is just going down over the trees there. It's kind of that nice, pretty golden hour. Well, folks, welcome to Talkeetna, Alaska. Can you gift me the game? Yeah, I don't know about that. That is a very expensive game. But yeah, welcome to Talkeetna. Hope you enjoyed the flight from Soldotna. Thanks so much for flying with me. Hope to have you aboard on the next one. And as always, until next time, folks, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.